Shanti, I'm having thoughts that won't be able to receive pleasure any like I used to or in the past. What should I do about that?
Okay, this is a good question. Everyone is looking for pleasure. Even somebody is dying in the hospital, they want to live little longer. They are willing to pay all their investment to live few days longer. Why? Everyone is seeking pleasure. What is pleasure? Pleasure is experienced by five senses: seeing, hearing, tasting, touching, and smelling. And also mind associates with it. So six senses, one experiences pleasure. Now somebody is meditating and the idea is given that meditation will give you lasting pleasure. That means bliss, total happiness, total contentment. Then they look for happiness, contentment, peace and bliss. So they get into the mind. So really bliss is the experience when there is no mind. This is why people get caught into thinking process and fantasy in name of finding bliss, in name of meditation. So Buddha used a different word. He used cessation of pain. Everyone wants to avoid pain. When you want to avoid pain, there is no fantasy. So samadhi, positive experience, is expansion of consciousness. While Buddha recommended nirvana, nirvana means extinction, losing your ego. So when you lose ego, there is no fantasy left. So everyone is looking for pleasure and happiness. Pleasure and happiness are illusion. They are not permanent. And you hang on to something that is not permanent, that is suffering. So first problem of searching for happiness is desire for happiness, because desire for happiness will create more desire and more restlessness. Desires can never be satisfied. There is no such pleasure that would last forever. But in illusion, one is looking for pleasure, and looking for pleasure from outside world. Pleasure comes by experience of five senses with five sense objects. So see certain object, hears certain sound, taste certain food, touch different sensation, and smell something. And the mind has fantasy. So really everything one is looking for coming from outside. It fluctuates. So we have no control. So we are looking in illusion for finding happiness because we have no control over the world. No matter how successful you are, how wealthy you are, you cannot control the situation in the world. So first thing is, searching for happiness is the first greatest hindrance in happiness. So removing all the connection with the senses and becoming introverted, removing the mind from the sense organs, removing the desires of the mind, and that is the total liberation, and that is total freedom. So if you can quiet your mind, remove all the desires, then you find instant peace, which is the foundation of happiness, foundation of pleasure. It is the substratum. Pleasure, happiness, everything is reflected on the screen of consciousness. And screen of consciousness is I am, Atman, self, or consciousness. So if you come to the source, which is consciousness, then all these things become insignificant. Consciousness is like a screen. Pleasure, happiness, everything is projected on the screen. Pleasure and pain projected on the screen is the show of light and shade and colors. And those light, shade and colors get you involved. So certain scenes make you laugh, certain scenes make you sad, certain scenes make you cry. Actually, you are the observer. All this is a game of light. Same way, all the sensation, pleasure or pain is nothing but all the games of light and shade is called Maya. Pleasure is something is pleasing the mind, and pain is something is displeasing the mind. Both are sensations. So sensation of pleasure can turn into pain. Sensation of pain can turn into pleasure. You can see so many times somebody is laughing a lot, turns crying. Somebody is crying a lot, turns laughing. So really, we are beyond pleasure and pain, happiness and sadness. All these things keep on changing. We respond to them, then we become puppets. If you are a puppet of pleasure and pain, you become puppet of people who can honor you or insult you. You can become a puppet of gain and loss, pleasure and pain. So real mastery, real freedom from any kind of fear or insecurity or any worry is quieting the mind, coming to the center. Pleasure and pain are illusions. They are dualistic. Pleasure is pain, pain is pleasure. Both are hidden into each other. So really, state of mind that is peaceful is being at the center and observing pleasure and pain come and go. And that is the basic teaching of yoga and all the spiritual masters. The world is Maya. Maya means illusion. It is temporary. This temporary show makes you laugh and cry. It is so temporary. You are born and few years you die. Your pleasure dies away. Your possessions go away. When we die, we leave everything behind. We are forgotten. Just all these are illusion. So when we become aware of permanent nature of the self, then you become free from attachment to pleasure and attachment to pain. To be content here and now. And it is our choice. It can be attained here and now. If you have desire for it, you got it.